Hello again. So I know I promised you guys a video about how to actually do the deep work that is required to fully process the root of a certain trigger and fully let it go. In an earlier video I expanded on the topic of why replacing bad thoughts with good thoughts does not necessarily work long term, and the disadvantage of that, but I didn't really go into what to do instead. So in the following video I recorded a guided exercise that you can do live with me. You can follow along with my voice, and here is actually how to do it. Have your laptop ready and press the space bar whenever you've heard the next instruction to pause the video, and then when you feel like you've completed this step and you've fully gone into whatever you find and you've fully felt whatever is there and you're ready for the next step, you press the space bar again. So this is not a sequence that you listen to in one go. It's something that you pause and then do the step and then restart the video. And by restart I mean continue the video. To make it a bit more enjoyable, I've included the footage of me walking along a riverbed in Gran Canaria, where I am right now. But follow along, if you're going to do this exercise, follow along with the sound of my voice. Have your finger on the space bar to pause it and start it whenever you are ready for the next step, and have your eyes closed. Also make sure that you are in a space where you can safely express yourself without the worry of being heard, being judged, or being interrupted. Also make sure that you have tissue paper ready in case you need to cry. Make sure to have a bucket ready in case you need to spit, because it's very good to get that out instead of swallowing it. And just make sure that you are in a space where you can take your time and fully get into whatever needs healing. For those of you who wish to try this, I hope this helps. This is a sequence you can use regularly as a proactive psychosomatic cleansing routine, or you can apply it situationally when you're having negative feelings or thoughts that are A, triggered by something external that happened but the reaction seems disproportional, or B, that are bubbling up as a result of previous shadow work or emotional work, or after a growth spurt, also called ego backlash. Or C, that are coming up for no apparent reason, but simply changing your state by doing exercise or active meditation hasn't worked, and your sleep and nutrition are on point. Or D, that you want to work on because you intuit that there is progress to be made by overcoming this. Any of these four reasons are indications that what is coming up is ready to be healed. So the way this video is going to work is I'm not going to actually record my face because it's not relevant and it would distract you. This video is meant to guide you through an emotional release that you can do on yourself, and every step of the way you can pause the video and give yourself as much time as you need to visualize this step fully. So I'm not going to wait a specific amount of time for you to go through every step, after which to assume you're done with it and continue. I want you to have the laptop or your phone next to your bed or mattress or space where you're doing this, and I want you to just press the space bar, preferably without looking, every time that you heard me explain the next step. Then go through the next step, and when you're done, press the space bar again so that you can hear about the step after that. This way you can really take your time with every step. It's important to not rush through this and really give this as much time to process and cook as you feel that you need. So don't rush through this. Press the pause button or the space bar after every step and give yourself as much time to go through it as you feel is needed. In the description, I will definitely put up a link to skip to the guided part, and you will just get straight into it if you click that link. So the parts that want to be healed already know how to guide us through it, so all you have to do is get curious. Trust your own intuition. And if it wants to go off the rails a little bit and go off course, then follow it. What we don't do is we come to this with an attitude of, how do I fix this part of myself, or how do I fix this negative feeling so that it can go away forever? The correct frame to have is, there are parts within myself that are wounded and stuck in these moments that they were not able to process. They are stuck in this loop until we go back and help these parts. So you want to see yourself as a compassionate caregiver. So water. Have lots of water with you. Tissue paper to blow your nose in, etc. Have a purge bucket or a certain bin where you can spit into when you feel like you have to cough, or throw your towels in when you have to blow your nose. Have a mattress. Punch the mattress if you feel angry. With letting out anger, always be careful to not hurt yourself or anyone else. Don't break anything, but have a mattress ready that you can hit with your flat hand. Never with your fist. Always use a flat hand. If you cannot discipline yourself to do this in a safe way, don't do it at all. But have a safe space where you could really let out your feelings without being judged or heard or disturbed. Have music. You can prepare some playlists that help you bring out the emotion that you want to work on. Sometimes it won't be clear what it's going to be. So just have different playlists that put you in a certain mood, such as playlists that make you feel vulnerable, help you go into your anger or in your sadness or into love and vulnerability, I would say, is the kind of mood that you want to have playlists for. But I would say start with silence. You don't need music. You can add music in at a certain moment when you feel like it. But if you don't know about this, then I would say just do it without music. You really don't need it. And also have pen and paper ready in case you want to write an insight down. So one special case to this is if you have the intuition that what you're working on might have its roots in an experience that is way, way back in time. So this might be something that happened during or after your birth, or even before your birth. In that case, put on heartbeat sounds as a background track. So now we're going to go into the actual exercise. So decide what to work on. Either you have a trigger or a negative thought or feeling in mind already, or ask, what part needs the most attention? And just trust that what comes up after that is what it is. So now that you have it, sit with this sensation or negative thought or negative feeling and just get curious. Where exactly do you feel it in your body? What is the actual sensation like? Is it hot or cold? Where is it? Is it tingly or not? What color is it? Just sit with it for a few moments until you really feel clearly what the sensation is. Pause the recording as long as you need until this step is complete. So now ask yourself a starting question. Two excellent starting questions, and you can just pick one, are A. When did I first feel this way? Or B. Where did it start? So instead of thinking really hard and trying to answer it right away, just hold the question in your mind. And when you have these questions in your mind, one of these, go into step 4. Press the space bar. So with this question in mind, do 5 to 10 minutes of circular breathing. This will put you in an open state that makes this work much easier. So basically what you do is you breathe fully in and out at a regular, normal, easy pace without stopping between the out and the in breath. And as soon as you feel the answer to your question of where did this start or where did I first feel this way coming up, then you can stop with the breathing, breathe normally, and go to the next step. So pause and continue when you have it. So now you might have sensations bubbling up in your body, and they might get really loud, or you might have a memory popping up, and you might have a figure presenting itself to you. This could be an inner child asking for help by showing up in your imagination, or some other figure, or just a memory. Follow whatever it is. Go into it and keep breathing to keep your body relaxed and soft and really float in the middle of the sensations. If this is a memory or a scenario, let it unfold. If it's a visual, check how does it make me feel in my body. Get good at just being with sensation. Now pause and really walk through whatever came up. Feel it fully, and then continue when you've really spent some time on this. So after you've spent some time fully feeling this sensation or fully feeling the entire story and all the details of this memory, ask it a question. If it's just a sensation, you can ask again, when was the first time I felt this way? Or if it's a part, when it feels like a person or an entity, for example an inner child presenting itself to you, a version of you stuck in time, ask, how long have you been feeling this way? Show me any memories that you have for me. And pause. So when you get the memory, let it come to you and play out the scene from a first person's perspective. Feel it fully. Stay with it as long as it needs you to stay with it. This pain or this part or this inner child keeps showing you what hurts the most, where the pain really lies. These feelings were just too big for that smaller part to handle. Now you are an adult and it's not happening right now, but now you have the maturity to be able to go back and fully feel it. So fully feel it and pause. When you fully felt what this part wanted you to experience, the memory that it wanted you to show, the feelings that it wanted to make you feel with it, ask it, what did you really need? What did you really need? And this could be anything. This is where you have the power to change the scene. Bring in what was needed. If you have this memory where you were totally alone, you could bring in someone to take care of you, or you could be the one to take care of you in that moment and just be as your adult self taking care of your child self. Or if your child self says that you needed your spirit animal, or you need to raise an army of warriors to protect you or fight off the aggressor, or did you just need a hug or for someone to make you feel safe, or just did you need to be carried away to safety, ask this part, what did you need? And pause. So now that you know what your part or child self needed, give it what it needed. So in your imagination, in this scene, play it out and feel and see how the unhealed part reacts to you being there and taking care of its needs. So you're with your part, with your previous self together, and you are changing the scene to take care of what it needs, what he needs or she needs. And pause. So when you've given it what it's asking for, check with him or her, to see if there's anything else it might want to show you or it might need. What else do you want to show me? What else do you need? And pause. Finally, ask yourself, how would I be a good father or a good mother to this part if it were my child? How would a great father or a great mother be towards this part? If I were that, what would I do for them? And play that out in your mind. And pause. Now it's time to come to an end. Take as much time as you need. Thank this part for showing you what was unprocessed and what you still needed to look at and experience with them. Thank it. And then promise to stay in touch. Promise that it won't be alone. And just carry it with you. Have a good connection and keep it alive. So afterwards, just be gentle to yourself, drink lots of water, have some good nutrition, give yourself what would make you feel the most nurtured, whether that is being under a blanket, make yourself hot chocolate, taking a nice walk, or spending time with a pet, whatever it is. You've done some great work on yourself that most people will never do. That's why they will never solve their problems permanently. So congratulate yourself and be nice to yourself. And I'll see you in another video.